Constructed in 1870, Sisters Island Light was needed to mark a difficult channel on the Canadian side of the island. However, with the commissioning of the lighthouse, the river channel was moved to the American side of the island. As part of this process, the river at that point needed to be deepened, which entailed the blasting of bedrock at the river bottom. This was an extremely hazardous operation. Divers working from a support barge placed the charges into drilled holes. Lightning struck the barge during a summer thunderstorm, and the dynamite on the barge exploded. 9 crew members were killed. The tower, which housed the light, rises about 60 feet. Sisters Island was originally 3 Sisters Islands, or 3 islands that stood next to each other. The space between the islands was eventually filled in, and the islands connected. Captain William Dodge was wounded in the Civil War and given the post of lighthouse keeper. He was appointed Sisters Island Light's first keeper in 1870 and served with his wife for 23 years, then passed the position on to his son, who kept the light for 28 years. Between the two, they logged 51 years as keepers of Sisters Island Light. At first, the lightkeeper had to stay at the light year-round, even though the light was not operated in the winter. Later, the keeper was allowed to go home for the winter months. Around 1890, late at night, the Dodges were awakened by a horrible crash. The passenger steamer Ocean had collided with the barge Kent. With a huge gaping hole in her side, the captain of the Ocean drove his vessel full steam ahead for the rocks at Sisters Island Light. He wanted to get into shallow water, knowing that his ship could not float for more than a few minutes. The keeper, Mr. Dodge, was involved in the rescue. When the St. Lawrence Seaway opened in 1959, the lighthouse was replaced with a nearby buoy. In 1967, the Wolos family purchased the property.
It had been vandalized by everybody. Most of the windows were broken. Most of the window frames were damaged. It was dirty. We had to get custom-made windows because it's odd-sized frames. We had to replace the glass at the light tower. My dad, when we came here, my dad started with a broom upstairs. Just kept sweeping. By the time he got to the lower level, we had 2 wheelbarrows full of dirt, literal dirt. And apparently it was hit by lightning because there was a hole in the roof, there was a hole on the 2nd floor, there was a hole in the 1st floor, right down to the ground. And my dad and I did what you see here. It's a family recreation area, yes. My daughter comes, my son comes, my nephews come. The whole family uses the place, and we have a calendar deciding who gets what week, and we just work it out amongst ourselves.
Sisters Island Light is now privately owned and is not operational. The lighthouse cannot be seen from the American mainland.
Now available on DVD or Blu-ray, the WPBS TV production of New York's Seaway Lighthouses, featuring the fascinating histories of over 20 different lighthouses along the shores of New York's Seaway Trail. Order your copy today.
New York Seaway Lighthouses is sponsored by the Department of the Interior National Park Service and by Taste New York at the North Country Welcome Center overlooking the Thousand Islands Bridge.